There's been a lot of conversation and debate about the idea of God of War Ragnarok being such a masterpiece. It feels like this game, even though it's been out for an entire week, is being so heavily scrutinized from every different angle. The puzzles, the boss fights, the very interesting plot twists, but all of it in a very loving way. I think that everybody who's played Ragnarok can easily agree that the game is freaking amazing. I personally gave it a 10 out of 10 in my review, but a lot of people have some tiny gripes that they're discussing to a heavy degree, and part of it comes down to the peculiar puzzles, which I want to talk about today. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So personally, I do believe what's sort of stoked this conversational point is just the amount of awards that God of War is already winning. You can see here I have an article from PC Gamer talking about the fact that the Game of the Year awards nominees have now been selected. Inside this article, they sort of tally up the different games that are getting nods, that are up for possible awards, and by far, God of War Ragnarok is currently in the lead because it's nominated for 10 separate categories, including Best Narrative, Best Performance, Best Action Game, and of course, Game of the Year. Now, in my opinion, honestly, I think it deserves this. I really love God of War Ragnarok. I've beaten the entire game, but more than that, during the course of my multiple playthroughs of it, I decided to record the entire game. I recorded all 30 freaking hours of my initial playthrough, and I just have them saved. And one of the biggest complaints I keep seeing people talk about is the puzzle system. So there is a surprising amount of problem solving inside of Ragnarok, between all the crazy combats, the upgrade trees, the tearing people limb from limb, literally. There's a lot of times where you're trying to essentially just turn different doodads, light things on fire, try and do what, in my opinion, is very easy but very fun puzzle solving. But there seems to be a specific gripe that people have. So you can see here, I have this Twitch clip muted, but the guy is trying to currently solve this very simple puzzle. This is about 6 or 7 hours into the game, not a spoiler, but basically he has to try and cross this gap. He doesn't know how to do it. His partner right here, Freya, just immediately yells out, "Oh, Kratos, maybe you should try and spin it and just jump to the other platform." This is one of the things that people seem to dislike. Roughly 20 seconds into any puzzle you're attempting to solve, your partner just immediately yells out usually a big hint or the entire solution. Now, people are saying that this is basically killing their hype. Look at this. This kills any desire I have to play Ragnarok. I'm sorry, but developers have figured out decades ago that the hint system should be opted in. Let players take as much time as they want to figure the puzzles out. People even saying things like right here, inside the options, there's this special thing that says puzzle timing. Originally, people that were going through these I think these menus are brilliant. They actually have so many different things you can toggle off and toggle on to customize your experience. It turns out that this extended option that you can increase just makes it so that you get extra time on the timed puzzles, times where you have to hit like 3 bells, or if there's like a water thing that's breaking free. Now, people seem to actually strongly dislike it. People are saying it's ridiculous that you can't turn it off. A Paul Tossi article. I've seen people straight up muting the game. Literally, I've seen some people saying that they're turning off the subtitles while playing this during the puzzle-focused sections. Turning off the subtitles and muting the game simply to not hear the hints. Because honestly, the puzzles are pretty great. People play... There are memes like this that just, honestly, they make me laugh because they're very hyperbolic, but they're calling it God of War Ragnarok is for babies because they tell you the puzzle solution. Look, you dropped this. Here was another one that I laughed. God of War Ragnarok NPCs when they see you taking longer than 2 seconds to solve a puzzle. But I guess the other side of this is that it does feel like the game is meant to be more action focused. It's meant to try and get you to that next big fight. But I have seen some people complaining that there are still too many puzzles, like basically saying that maybe the game it tried to walk a very delicate line, it feels like. I say this as somebody that's gone through the game twice now, is it does seem like the intention of Ragnarok is to hit you in the feels, to hit you at that next big story moment, to make your jaw drop as you're ripping apart that next great deity that's blocking your path. Essentially, the primary purpose of freaking Ragnarok in general is trying to solve these ancient mysteries and fulfilling prophecies and stuff like that. So I do think that the puzzles are important. I have seen a separate group saying that there are too many puzzles in general. I have seen some people saying that they wish they had a skip puzzle button. That's something they enabled for Last of Us. I think skipping puzzles would be incredibly stupid. Not only would it shorten the game considerably, but a lot of this game is about the optional dialogue. If you are rushing through Ragnarok, you're not getting the full experience. I mean, straight up, a lot of the times where characters are just taking a beat to turn to each other and express their feelings or talk about their past, those are, not even being hyperbolic, by far the best parts of the entire game. Those are the times where the game instantly becomes 10 times better. So the people here who are trying to essentially either rush past puzzles or take their time, there's an interesting mix they're trying to find. Now, I do want to say this. The people that are saying this game is overly puzzle heavy, I think you're probably playing this game on too easy of a difficulty. Now, let me explain what I mean. So as you turn up the combat difficulty, this can increase the amount of enemies, the amount of damage they're dealing. A lot of times their tactics and AI does seem to get a lot better. And I said this in my review, but I actually think the AI of these guys has already been dramatically improved over God of War 2018. Making this game harder gives you a greater appreciation to the combos, the relics, all the cool upgrades you can do to Kratos and Atreus and all of your partners and stuff like that. I think this also makes it so that each individual fight is also more time consuming. You're going to die on bosses more. You're going to have to realize, the cost of every single mistake and every missed parry. And then, in my opinion, you respect the puzzle breaks more. Once you've had those big fights, those difficult, crazy, 5-stage crazy takedowns where you keep dying to the last enemy in a big encounter, I think this increases my pleasure for those times where I'm there just trying to figure out the solution of a puzzle, whether it is optional or mandatory. I will agree that the entirety of the whole system of telling you the solution is weird. I don't think it's still fully bad. I do wish there was an option to extend it or something like that. I even said this in my review when I was talking about it before the game came out, but it is a little bit weird where sometimes, especially with the optional puzzles, that's kind of where I felt the weirdest, is when I've gone off the beaten path and I'm enjoying myself. I'm there just trying to figure out an extra side chest or something. Those little bits that, in my opinion, really improve the world. And then your partner, I'm trying not to be spoilery because you do play with a lot of spoilerish characters in this, and they'll just straight up say, oh, you should do that, or, oh man, you should open up that. Like, the solutions to optional puzzles specifically are very, very strange. I do think that they should just give you a little bit more off leash, a little bit more freedom, so that the creativity of combat can match the creativity of the puzzles. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. Honestly, I think it's really cool watching everybody beat Ragnarok. Today, it's now been out for an entire week, and it's so fascinating to watch the parts that people are grappling upon the most, the people that people are the most fixated on, the characters that people love or hate. It's brilliant. Honestly, all the Game of the Year award nominees it has, I think it deserves every single freaking one of them. But what do you guys think about God of War Ragnarok? Are you loving it? Are you hating it? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But please do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Also, I got sent a freaking Silent Hill box by Konami. This is the coolest thing ever in my entire life. You guys know I'm completely in love with freaking Silent Hill. I'm obsessed with Silent Hill. Konami, this blown me away. I'm gonna wear Silent Hill 2 merch. I might wear this Silent Hill hat next video just for funsies. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.